Yo, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back with another epic 7 video. This time it's going to be a guide slash review for Diene. Congratulations if you got her. Let's go with the skill review and then I'll check the stats, analysis of that, the skill ups, skill enhancement priority, awakening materials, the best items and sets, best artifacts, where does the hero shine, and maybe some team compositions, good for PvP, any better heroes, is she worth getting, should you re-roll for her? Alright, let's start. First skill, yeah, let's go with third actually, because this is the best one. So a miracle of the goddess manifests, increase attack and critical hit resistance of all allies for 3 turns before increasing the caster's combat readiness by 50%. So this is on a 5-turn cooldown. It's basically 4.5 turn cooldown because she already brings her combat readiness to halfway. Increase attack, that's 50% more attack for your team, and critical hit resistance, it should be like 30% reduction in critical hit chance that you receive. Soul burn, 20 souls, decrease skill cooldown by 2 turns, and well, I'll explain why this is not required, and potentially even the skill enhance is not a big rush. Second one, with the blessings of the goddess, covers all allies with a barrier for 2 turns before dispelling 1 debuff. Barrier strength increased proportional to the target's max health. Okay, so all this stuff, like no, not all this stuff, just the barrier. I mean, skills with health. This gives 2 souls as well as 4-turn cooldown goes down to 3, and the thing is, it applies the barrier and then dispel 1 debuff. So if you have the debuff that says you cannot be buffed, you cannot receive a buff, well, you won't be able to receive the barrier, and then it will dispel the debuff, assuming that's the only one. It's going to be dispelling 1 randomly out of how many, however many it might have. Now, skill 1 emits a ray of brilliant light, increasing the caster's combat readiness by 10%. Effect doubles when caster is buffed. Okay, so the reason why this you don't need soul burn and don't need to really skill enhance it is because, like, it's already 4.5 turn, and then you've got this, you're gonna be buffed, so that's 20%. That's not even enhanced yet, and yeah, 20% each time you attack. Diene should be on speed, so she's gonna go more often than the rest of your team. Well, depending if you're running someone else like some hero that boosts combat readiness, some heroes that you might want some very high amount of speed on. But like let's say tank and damage dealer, she will go more often, and over the course of that, like, let's just say that because this 20% per attack, and this is the buff lasts 3 attacks, so that's 60% right there, and then 50% already from this thing. So it's already down to 4 turns, and then you have to consider she's going to be faster than, like I said, the tank and damage dealer, so she should have enough speed to be able to have 1 extra turn. So yes, there's going to be a turn where she doesn't have the increased attack and critical hit resistance, but don't care about the attack. Critical hit resistance, yeah, it's nice for PvP, but still, the people that need the attack buff will have it pretty much permanently with this thing. And yeah, I mean, barrier 2 turn, this you want to skill this up first, I'd say, because yeah, it becomes a 3 turn. This is like, she's not a healer, she doesn't heal, but the barrier will let you absorb quite a bit of damage. It says neutralize some of the damage taken when attacked. Alright, so let's move on to the stats. Okay, 6-star stats. Speed 103 for limited hero, 5-star with her setup, her skills, I'd say is a bit low. It's a bit on the low side. You will need a lot of speed, so speed set, and well, you're gonna have to go speed, HP. Okay, let's just Do that. Also, yes, also something that's really good on her is her skill 2. Her skill 2 scales based on target max HP, so she doesn't need to stack health like a lot of other heroes, support heroes. They it scales on, like, the heal is based on how much HP they have. So you can really like go crazy with the speed on her, and it's not gonna affect how much healing it will do on the other allies. Well, beside herself though, she's gonna not get healed for that much. Versus if she had like plenty of health. I'm not heal, sorry, the barrier strength. So defense is actually very strong. The health is okay. The speed is on the low side. Don't care about the attack. She gets some effect resistance from the awakening here. Let's see. So the first one, effect resist 3%, some flat stats, 3% HP. Now here you gain the critical hit resistance, and that's pretty much it. And get some flat attack HP. Fourth one, okay, speed, so you need the fourth one. It's crucial. Fifth one, effect resist 6%. Yeah, small sun badge. It's gonna be fun to grind. HP 6%. That is good for later on. If she's gonna be part of your core, you're sure just go ahead and do it, but don't do this early game. So 5-star Ice Soul Weaver, Gemini. Dispatch mission, support type, reward bonus 6%. Okay, so skill enhance. Yeah, I would go with this thing, -1 turn cooldown. With high enough speed, I don't think you never have to soul burn this thing really, and it's 20 souls as well. It's pretty high. But yeah, you can skill this for the +1 soul and the -1 turn cooldown if you want the critical hit resistance on herself. So the uptime is higher on herself. And you might have some support that you want to have the critical hit resistance, or some very high speed DPS that you want the attack permanently on. But in most cases, yeah, go for the -1 cooldown on this thing. Okay, talked about that. So yeah, speed and for survival HP, she doesn't need the hit because she doesn't land any debuff. So yeah, you could what else, you could go defense too, because she's got high defense. It depends what you have, like what's available to you, but she's ice, you're not gonna use her, like she's not optimal for a golem farm group really. You can for wyvern. Yeah, because the boss, if you don't provoke the boss, he's gonna attack your heroes kind of randomly. So the barrier is gonna help out in that department. And yeah, attack is a nice. That's a nice damage boost, nice DPS boost. The critical hit resistance is mostly for PvP though. So best artifact for her. Now let's back out here. Best artifact, like 5-star. She can be like, she can have a bit of healing because of this thing. Her skill 2 and 3 don't attack, so she's gonna heal the lowest health ally by up to 24%, between 12 and 24% with this thing, and majority of the stats are health here, a bit of attack. So good for survival, she doesn't need attack. This increased the healing received by an ally by 40%. This will need the confirmation in the comment section, guys. If she's wearing that and you have like Ravi or someone DPS tank like with some lifesteal, maybe a DPS with lifesteal set, will the healing be boosted because of this thing? If any Soul Weaver is carrying that, because this could be very good in certain cases. All right. Yeah. 4-star. There's this one. This thing, it's gonna, like, if you want to have the buffs up, have a higher uptime on the rest of your teammates, you can use this thing, because a skill that don't attack, aka skill 2 and 3, it's gonna up her combat readiness when she uses them, and skill 3 is gonna become potentially 80% combat readiness boost. That's almost like 100%. She's almost gonna like go for the next turn right away if that thing's maxed. But yeah, realistically it's not gonna be maxed out for a while, so yeah, 20-25% here, still very strong. And if we go in the 3-star artifact, there's of course this, if you're getting AoE'd like PvP, your arena defense, you could have this to lower the cooldown and have the barrier up, like your skill 2 up faster. There's also, if you want to deal a bit of damage, if you're like fighting bosses in Hunt or Abyss, they have quite a bit of HP on the higher floors, this will help out. And there's also this. This is good on arena defense if you because this is reliable, you know. As long as you get below 50%, this will happen. You will take less damage, so it makes you more tanky, and maybe you can survive some big hits and keep on helping staying alive. Alright, so next thing, so where does this hero shine? I would say that PvP is the biggest, like the best place for her. Arena defense, she would be super annoying on arena defense, really. Like if you pair her because she's not a healer, right, unless she has that 5-star artifact that heals a bit, and that's only when she uses skill 2 and 3, so not all the time. But if you pair her with Destina, it will be very annoying to fight against. You can use well, not only PvP, guys, it's also, this works in PvE as well. Like Angelica, she has barrier already, so like the strongest one will prevail, but she provides immunity for the whole team, so that could be very good. Her speed is very low though, but PvE, PvP is gonna be hard to have the speed really to get this up before you get destroyed by an offensive team, and heal one ally and another one with lowest HP. What else? Okay, so I wanted to talk about group composition. Like you could pair her with a healer. You need, like, you could go tank, Diene, and a healer, and your fort could be a damage dealer. Well, it should be a damage dealer unless you want the fight to be really long. Or you could use Ravi. Ravi act as a tank and a DPS at the same time. So yeah. And Ravi, actually, it would be really annoying because Ravi has lifesteal on skill 1. You see, this returns HP, and then with her barrier, Diene will make it so Ravi stays alive, well, longer. It's gonna help her, able to give her time, buy her time to get her health back up. And if you have Ravi and then you add like lifesteal set on Ravi as well, it's gonna be even more annoying. And if you have Ravi with lifesteal and Sigurd sight, oh, when the caster's health is less than 50%, increase attack by 25% and absorb up to between 25 and 50% of the damage dealt is health. Wow. Now, like you could use this on damage dealer as well. You could do your team without a healer. Just have Diene, and the tank could have, like, it could be Ravi, and then your damage dealer could be it could be someone on lifesteal or with Sigurd sight, and well, your other support will just slowly die, I guess, unless you have what's it called again? Shimedra. No, not this one. This one, if you have this, it could provide some healing. But I mean, let's say you want to reroll. You get her after 1-4, and then at 1-10 you go for Ravi, and you could run Ravi, Tieria, and Diene. Ravi can heal herself, Diene with the absorb, and Tieria to speed up the whole group, and defense down. You need defense down. It's gonna up your damage output. It's gonna double it, and you have the attack up already from Diene, so really dangerous. You won't have defense buff, but still. And then you can use whoever you want as fort, depending on the situation. You could go with a healer, you could go with a pure damage dealer. I mean, there are so many options, but that would be really dangerous. Alright, so also I want to talk about okay, so you need defense break, right? So arena defense, okay, you don't need defense break. You could just stall and survive, and they will take, if they have a 4 damage dealer offense setup, and you're able to well, you kind of want to go first before the big damage comes in, so get as much speed as possible. And yeah, now for PvE, for Wyvern, you could use her, and then yeah, you're gonna need Tieria. You don't have to use her, but she makes things so much easier. And you could use Cecilia has defense down. She has absorb as well on skill 3, which, well, it's gonna have a high uptime on the barrier, because it's gonna, if the one from Diene gets broken, well, Cecilia can bring her barrier up. 50% chance to defense down when after skill ups for 2 turn. The best you want, like defense down for 2 turn really. If you don't have it on tank, you're gonna need it on like a damage dealer. You got Clarissa that can defense down. Tarnor guard can defense down, and then if he dual attack, he will benefit from defense down on the target. You could use the second guardian for defense debuff. And Ken has defense down as well for, was it 2 turn? Just make sure here. I mean, I'm not gonna cover every hero, but you need to build up fighting spirit and then decrease attack and defense for 2 turn. So yeah. There is also Tywin. Tywin 3rd skill. Decreases defense, but it's initially 50% chance, goes up to 75%, so it's not really reliable on a 5 turn cooldown, well, 4 after skill up. But Cecilia is on skill 1 though. That is quite reliable. And so yeah, there's the Guardian, and the thing is with Tywin is increase attack and critical hit chance to the caster and an ally. So you already have increased attack, so that doesn't work too well. But Crow has increased defense to be extra tanky, because you won't have increased defense in the group if you run, let's say, Crow, Diene, a healer, and then a damage dealer. Well, you could have defense down depending on who your damage dealer is. But this grants barrier, but like Diene already provides it. It's gonna have a higher uptime. The tank will take damage anyways, so yeah. And a real tank will have provoke. Like a true tank is gonna have provoke, and that like Wyvern attacks randomly. So if you provoke, at least you know your tank will be taking the damage if the rest of your team is more squishy. But barrier is really nice because it kind of ups their maximum HP when it's applied, and you can take a bigger hit, or yeah, before you die you can take more burst damage. So yeah, you can run her if you want to run stall defense. If you want to run PvE, you're gonna have to bring a healer, or at least you use Ravi plus lifesteal or Sigurd's Sight, and then have Ravi in the front line, because she boosts her fighting spirit when she receives damage. No, yes, combat readiness and fighting spirit is gained when attacked. And then there's this thing that is crazy. So yeah, definitely viable for PvP. Is she worth getting? It depends. Like, there's the guarantee summon now, but it's 120 summons. That's 600 bookmarks. It's a lot. And if we go over this here, that's something that I don't like, but look at this. So if you pull a 5-star hero, it's gonna be her, guarantee, on this banner. Now the problem is that if you don't want Noble Oath, which is really good though, if you don't want the artifact Noble Oath, look at the chance to get the other artifacts. Extremely low. So that's unfortunate. If you want a 5-star artifact that is not Noble Oath, this messes up with your plan. And let's just check Noble Oath because it's part of her banner. So if you're free to play, I can't. My suggestion is, it's hard to say, really. It's hard to say. It depends what you're trying to achieve in the game, really. So this thing, as health decrease, defense and effect resistance increases by 50%. So defense increase, that's good because you don't have a defense up if you don't bring a defense buffer. And effect resistance, that's good too, because Diene doesn't have immunity. She doesn't provide immunity, so you put that on your tank. Well, it has to be a knight, and it's gonna make them really tanky. And you'd want provoke on your tank. So yeah, I talked about re-rolling as well. If you feel like, yeah, that hero's like, I really want this hero, but I don't know, maybe you decide to summon on your account, you use everything, you use all your Skystone, you use all your bookmarks, and you're like, yeah, I really want her, so I'm just gonna re-roll. I think if you just get her after 1-4, and then after 110 you go for Ravi, you could do a lot of content in this game, a lot of content. And you have you bring defense down, someone that provides defense down, like Tieria, and Ravi is gonna act as your tank and as your damage dealer. So you're very flexible for your fourth hero, depending on what content you're doing. Ravi is fire, Tieria's fire, Diene is ice. So you can do Wyvern, You got debuff with Tierra, so you're gonna need a fort that has a defense. I mean a debuff, because if the Wyvern is not debuffed, it will attack twice. So very important if you go with that setup to have someone that applies a debuff. But if you do Wyvern to be really to sustain, because your whole team's gonna take damage, really, you're gonna need a healer as your fort. So you could go with Angelica. Angelica would be the better choice. Let's see here. Oh, sorry about that. Angelica. So yes, her speed is slow, but I mean, you got an extra barrier and immunity, and that's the thing. It heals one person and then the next lowest, which is fine for Wyvern, unless the tail swipe doesn't hit for that much. You're gonna have to buff yourself again, and it's gonna increase the uptime on the barrier if the barrier of Diene gets stripped. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, you just need to make sure you can break that that shield that the Wyvern's gonna apply. So you will need defense down. There is Achates. Decrease attack up to 50% chance, and invincibility and heal. Dispel debuff from all ally before and then heal them. So you could use that, and that's gonna be helpful, just debuffing, but they will be maybe taking some of the poison damage from the Wyvern. And for Banshee, well, for Banshee, there's going to be a bunch of damage over time and debuffs. So she's fire, so that's not going to work out too well. But you could use... No, you could use her, Angelica. If you... There's just so many heroes and so many options. I can't go through all this, guys, but I think that I'm personally not going to pull for her because I'm running offensive setups, and if I get Noble Oath and I'm not even using a tank, that's gonna be brutal. And like I can't even go for the guarantee summon anyways. I'm not even halfway there in terms of bookmarks. Maybe I can get halfway, but still, to me, she's not worth it, because Diene, I mean, there's Elsen that's free, there's Yuna that's free for attack buffing. Elsen brings the defense buff and has some healing for the whole team. Also has a debuff on skill 1. Yeah, she speeds up her turns, but she does not provide a debuff for Wyvern. So that's a problem to me. So yeah, Elsen is free if you're free to play. I wouldn't blow all my bookmarks to try to get her. And if you want to go with an offensive setup, you can just use Yuna. You're gonna bring attack buff and speed buff for your team all at once, and she has better base speed, and she also attacks and deals some pretty good numbers. But if you are spending in this game, or if you really want to have a strong PvP defense, yeah, you pull for her. She's gonna be useful for pretty much all content in the game. Well, I wouldn't necessarily use her for Golem, because she is ice, and Golem is earth, which will counter her element. But yeah, That's gonna be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out for now.